There is so much going on during the closing process. You're probably wondering, what am I going to do with all this paper and how am I possibly going to keep it organized? Let's talk about how to stay organized during the home buying process. My name is Andrew Finney and my passion is helping you make sense of real estate. If you need help finding a top agent near you, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. Alright my friend, let's keep it real and let's take a closer look at this, because you have your mortgage loan documents, you have your real estate purchase offer, you have your buyer representation agreement, you have a preliminary title report, and you have so many other things going on, from your home appraisal to your home inspection. How are we going to keep this organized? Fortunately, we can take advantage of technology today, and we can set you up for success by learning how to label and categorize all these documents. The first thing that we want to do is set up a smart filing system. When we're considering the different technology available to us for filing system, probably the word cloud comes to mind. Cloud storage is where I'd like you to take this, because having it in the cloud means that no matter whether you lost your laptop, no matter whether your PC broke down, or if you upgraded your phone and your data didn't transfer correctly, it'll always be backed up in the cloud. You want to retain these documents. Consider the cloud storage that's free to use, like perhaps your iCloud account or your Google Drive. You can also opt in for paid services like Dropbox, or perhaps just your favorite cloud storage device. Setting up a smart filing system is in your favor because we have three main categories we want to break down folders for. The first folder that you want to create is for your contract and your escrow information. When we're considering your contract information, you should retain everything from your buyer representation agreement to your purchase offer, including any counter offers or addenda that may have been part of opening up the escrow process that was negotiated between you and the seller. In practice, whenever I'm backing up clients' files here in Las Vegas, Nevada, what I normally do is I'll take this and I'll say contract, and underneath that folder I'll add in the additional subfolders with buyer disclosures, buyer broker agreement, contract, escrow, and then underneath each of those I'll break down subfolders for critically important information, which brings us into the second thing that we want to have a main folder for, and that's anything to do with your property itself, from your home inspections to your home appraisals to any of the seller disclosures and additional information that you may have received, including your home inspection report with your buyer's repair request. We would like to retain copies of that, especially the one that gets known as a fully ratified or fully executed agreement, meaning that the repair request that you submitted to the seller has responded back to you saying, yes, I will fix items 1 through 7, and this is how we're going to do it. What you'll want to do is get with your buyer agent to retain any receipts for work that was done to the property and put it in this category. A lot of trusted real estate advisors have access to easily digitized copies, so if you need a digitized copy of that receipt, they'll be happy to make that digital copy, send it to you so that you can upload it to your folder. If you bought inside of an HOA community, you'll get what's known as a resale package, which contains your CC and Rs. CC and Rs is an acronym for covenants, codes, and restrictions. You'll want to maintain a copy of that as well inside of this folder regarding the property itself. The third main folder that you'll want to have is your financing folder. With your financing folder, we want to take a specific look at any loan estimates that you were provided by the loan officer. We also want to keep a copy of your closing disclosure and also a copy of your settlement statement for future reference. Now, of course, when we're talking about the different categories that make sense to break these down and how to do main categories and subcategories, ultimately whatever makes you most comfortable and you can find the easiest thereafter is the smartest way to label this. Simply consider the folder names that I've presented to you today as a starting place, and please make it your own so that you know where everything is if you need to recall them. The second thing that you want to do to stay organized during the home buying process is to set up an online calendar. Again, we can go back to our friend Google over here and use a Google Calendar, or perhaps you have an app on your phone that you really enjoy using, or maybe even in an Outlook account. All the same, it's very, very important to get straight with your calendar and save your important dates. Even though the escrow process generally takes 30 to 35 days in non-attorney states and up to 60 to 70 days in attorney states, it's very important to note there is so much going on during the closing process, and even though it seems like it takes forever, by the time you're done with the process, you'll be like, oh my god, that happened so fast, there was so much going on, I didn't even know, my head was kind of spinning. So that's one of the reasons it's so important to gain clarity by keeping keeping yourself organized during the home buying process, using your cloud storage device to save important documents, using an online calendar that you can save important dates. Consider that if we're looking at important dates from the launch of a closing process, what's the first step that we're going to need to do? We're going to need to make your earnest money deposit. In most cases, that's 1 to 2 business days after receiving the earnest money wiring instructions. So what you want to do is start off right there, right out of the gate on your calendar, say I have 2 days to get this done. I need to make this happen sooner than later. My buyer due diligence period may be 12 calendar days. So with 12 calendar days, let me go ahead and mark that as my buyer due diligence expiration. Okay, my home inspection contingency may be 15 days. Well, I need to go ahead and get my home inspection ordered as quickly as possible so that I have the time to submit a buyer repair request, and you can obviously work with your trusted real estate advisor to know exactly what these dates are to put into your calendar. What I'm doing here is kind of future pacing you of what to put in your calendar, because then you're also going to have this thing called an appraisal contingency. You're going to have a financing contingency. You're going to have the date that you get your closing disclosure. So depending on how your escrow is structured and what the closing time frame is that you're looking at will ultimately depend on what dates are going into your calendar. Please get with your trusted real estate advisor to be able to mark out your calendar today. The third thing that you can do to stay organized is set up a home buying account. When we're talking about setting up a home buying account, I am quite literally talking about going over to your financial institution and saying, hey, I need another account. It's not that you have to launch an all new account. Just add an additional savings account or an additional checking account to your account. Make sure that you're putting all the money that you're going to need for your buyer closing costs, to your down payment, to projected moving expenses. Be sure that you're planning for the home appraisal cost, your home inspection cost. Make sure that you're planning this out and put all the money into this one account so that you know it's non-touchable, and the only way to touch that is for purchasing your home. You want to put all that money in that account 2 to 3 months in advance of going on your home buying journey. The reason you want to do that is to allow what's called seasoning of that money, so that you won't have to explain to the lender and to the mortgage underwriter, hey, you know, I just decided I want to buy a house. I put all this money into this one account. Now you're asking me why? Well, because I want to buy a home. That's why. But you're going to actually have to justify that with an underwriter if you're making those movements inside of 60 to 90 days. Best practice here is to simply do the switch 2 to 3 months in advance when you know that you're getting ready to buy a home. Go ahead and set yourself up for success by making it a non-touchable account. And if right now you're saving up to buy a home, it's a very, very smart practice to plan out how much you're going to need for your down payment, how much you're going to need for your buyer closing costs, and how much you're going to need for your moving expenses that get into your new home. If you're doing that now through the planning phase of getting into your new home, you're going to be well prepared for success when the time comes. And if you're actually getting ready to purchase a home and you're about 2 to 3 months out, go ahead and take care of this right now. The fourth thing that you want to do is to read the fine print. There are so many important details going down through the closing process, from the seller's real property disclosure to perhaps additional pest disclosures, to local laws, to local customs, to local disclosures that may be required in your area. Keep all this information obviously in your cloud, but also take the time to read it. In your calendar, block off a section of time every single day that you dedicate maybe an hour of time just to go through all these documents and make sure that you're having a conversation with your trusted real estate advisor for anything that you don't understand. The idea here is to keep you comfortable and confident every step of the way leading up to the day that we have the joy of presenting you with the keys to your new home. Alright, my friend, if you follow these 4 really easy things to do to stay organized during the home buying process, you are a rock star and you're going to enjoy your home buying experience. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about how to create a home ownership journal and what documents to keep after buying a house. Looking forward to our next conversation. We'll see you in a few.